This is Phase Ed Music.
What's up, YouTube? Welcome to More Trades. Welcome to the channel. Before I get started, hit the likes, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and we're gonna get into it. Today I wanted to show you something that nobody is possibly showing you this on the charts. So hit the likes and subscribe. Now, when we look at this chart, everybody is talking about the bull market is about to begin, but is anyone looking at this? Now let's look at this. I'm going to show you this, and take it with a grain of salt or a pinch of salt, because I generally don't look at the log chart, but this is a log chart, and what I've come to see in the log chart is that we are in a bearish descending channel that you could say it began on 19th of July 2021. So we got one touch over here, that's our second touch over here, third touch, fourth touch. It's nice to see 5. We could see 5. Could the 5th touch bring us down here? If we just landed in one daily candle or weekly candle, it could bring us down to 10,259. That's super bearish. Of course, we might get bounces here, and people are like, oh, you're wrong, see, we got a bounce. I'm not saying it's going to go in one line. I'm not saying for sure that it's going to go wrong or it's going to go down, but there's a high probability. We are in a descending channel. Descending channels break to the upside, but we clearly been rejecting here on the log chart 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row. And this pattern, we know what this is, and we know how it usually ends. Over here, it fooled us. It didn't do that. Will it fool us over here? So far, we didn't do the same as here. We're looking a bit different. We're looking like we might be falling down. Now let's go back, and I'm going to show you that the channel. Then on the same chart, on the log chart, on the weekly, look at that. Again, 1, 2, 3 rejections from this trend line that goes back to August of 2022. I don't always look at log charts because I don't believe that log charts really reflect the actual trading and show the human emotions in the charts, because log charts are most probably calculated differently. They look different, they're calculated different. I haven't read how they're done, but yeah. So could we be looking at something else this time? This was the COVID crash. Let's see if we can find anything to relate us to the COVID crash. Now we go up here. This was our trend line. So if we go here, I'll show you something. If we go here and we say this was our other low, look at that line, and look at the rejection you got almost perfectly over here. Look at that. Things are not looking that great, and when we got rejected, we came down. Now, can we be doing something different? Let's go further in time and find something else. I'm just hunting over here. I found two things that I've showed you in the chart that no one is showing you, but I want to go hunting. Let's see this trend line. This trend line on the log chart comes from the 2015, and the second touch was in 2020, March 2020, January 2015. Okay, so this was a bear market low. This is COVID crash, and that trend line that I just put out right here, let me change the color, gives us a resistance on the weekly log chart that if we come up, that support that caused us big bounces in the COVID crash, high demand, and over here in this dump, when we had this dump, %, dump, it gave us a high demand over here. That would give us probably a strong rejection. Why do I say that? And what is the target? The target we're looking at is, turn off my magnet. The target we're looking at for this week, well, the week is over, so I'd say for tomorrow, next week, 28,637 possibly. That would take us to the top of this channel. Wait a minute. That would take us on this to the top of the channel, somewhere around here, 28.8. That would need a lot of buying power, and that can happen. I'm not saying it's impossible. So yeah, so looking at the log charts look bearish, and if you go with the 200 MA, we broke it on the regular chart, I believe. This is on the log chart. I'm gonna get rid of this channel. I hope you appreciate this information. If you did so far, please hit the likes, because I'm trying to show you things that are not visible to everyone. Okay, 200 MA on the regular chart. Let's go on the daily probably. Weekly, is this the regular chart? This is the log. This is the regular chart. So why aren't I? We are above the 200 MA, but we haven't broken below it before. I mean, we rarely open and close candles below it, the 200 moving average. At the moment, as you can see, ever since Bitcoin printed it on the weekly, since 2015, we weren't able to open and close candles below it. And at the moment, we are above it, holding for this week. But this was a weak sign. We came above it now. This is a strong sign. We need to hold the 26,281, which was, in Fibonacci retracement terms, we could say maybe from this low, it was a fib retracement, I believe. There you go, close to the 0.5 fib, the 0.382. We've been bouncing from it, and 0.382 fib is not a bad fib for wave 4, because I was saying that we have a 1, 2, and this was our 3 maybe, and this is our 4, and we're holding it. You don't want it to start breaking the 24K zone. Then you have an issue of your count. Then you might be having a bigger one too. So those are my targets for Bitcoin. Upside target on the higher time frame could take it to 28,838. To the downside, I showed you that very bearish count on the log chart could take it to 10. But for starters, if I'm gonna go on my other chart, I need to press back. Sorry guys, I need to get back my drawings. I deleted all my drawings and indicators, and I needed to be on the Binance chart because that's where I trade. At the moment, I am in some trades, Bitcoin and Ethereum. This may take a bit. I need to click much faster. Let's click very fast. So all in all, the markets are not looking that great. Actually, I can just close this and reopen it. Why am I just wasting time? There we go. I'm gonna open my Binance chart and we're gonna look, where did we get to today? What is visible in the chart? Let's go on the daily time frame. Where are we? We're back where we sold off a few days ago on the 24th of May. We're right back there. 1, 2, 3, 4 pump recovery. On the daily time frame, you have interest. And remember, I was telling you, if you're above the value area low, you're interested only, you can be interested up to the POC, given that you know your range, you know where your EMAs and all that, but your next bullish target is 28,022. I need to tell you this, it moved a bit. The POC, I can see it in my chart. Let me just move the line slightly higher to match. There you go. Now, what can I see on my chart? I can see that Ethereum has been leading Bitcoin. Ethereum was above the value area low ages ago, and I was screaming and saying, if you're above the value area low, aim for the POC, preceded by the 18,050, 1,850. And you can see we wicked it today. But yeah, your target should be the POC. You could get there. Reject from the POC. Once you get rejected from the POC, then your target should be naturally the value area low. Of course, you need to know where your EMA is and all that. So for now, for Ethereum, we're getting rejected at that 18,050. Beautiful rejection. One candle couldn't make it. Second candle shows indecision. And the third candle looks like it might be toppling down. On the 1 hourly, I'm going to show you something. On the 1 hourly, we're about to cross over on the 15-minute. Now, I know I'm jumping between charts, but there's a lot of things going on today. And next week's going to be an interesting one. We're above the value area low, 15-minute. I could take this trade if I wanted to and ride it, presumably, to the POC and put my stop loss below the 50 EME. If you're using high leverage, of course, you can't maintain that because there's a big chance you might come and recover these candles only to bounce off from yesterday's high and continue higher. Now, if you want to be realistic, you need to look at some things to know the strength in the market. I like to look at the RSI. Yesterday I was telling you that the ATR is very low. Sorry, that was in my other channel in Arabic. So I have RSI, MACD, and let's put this. And let's look at overbought, oversold. Okay, 15-minute, nothing. 15-minute, we have momentum to the downside. We have the CG oscillator showing we might be curving up. RSI is still in bullish territory, but we're curving down. We had some sort of a bearish divergence on 15-minute, higher highs on the value area low location with lower highs on the RSI. That's bearish divergence. Now you go to the 1 hour chart and you look at RSI. We're in the overbought region, MACD. Overbought, attempting to cross down. CG oscillator is at the bottom. If the CG oscillator starts bottoming out, forming a double bottom like this, we might see a move up. Now on the 4 hourly, 4 hourly is showing me something I don't like to see if I am a bull. But I'm not a bull, I'm not a bear. I trade it as it is. 4 hourly MACD looks like it has momentum to go to the upside, it has strength. RSI is overextended, almost at the overbought. We can spike up as you see over here, but we are forming lower highs on the 4 hourly, while RSI is forming higher highs. And it's confirmed already. That is hidden bearish div. Hidden bearish or hidden bullish would be a continuation. Hidden is continuation. So the hidden bearish could tell us we're going to continue to the downside. MACD is going up. 4 hourly, we have this CG oscillator pointing upwards. On the daily, I think we have major bearish divergence. Let's look at the daily. RSI going up, 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 while price action is forming clearly lower highs. You can see that even if you just look at the candle closes without the wicks, you can see that we are forming, I can't put it exact, but you can see this is a higher close, lower, and much lower. If this candle closes like this, we're going to confirm even more bearish divergence. Look at that. And if RSI closes the same, that is not bullish at all. You need to be aware of that. That is over here on the daily. You have hidden bearish divergence. That means continuation of the trend. Momentum for the day has shifted to the bull side. See the big green bar? That is bullish. Over here, this CG oscillator, if you get a double bottom, you have a chance to move up. Here you had a double bottom and you moved up. So yeah, now if we go to Ethereum, let's see what we can see on Ethereum. Ethereum, on the other hand, on the daily, we have lower highs still, no bearish diff. MACD still has, though the MACD crossed over and we're below, we pushed up, so we have energy to go up. On the 4 hourly Ethereum, RSI, do we have anything? We're going up, we're going up. From this high to this high, I can't see any bearish div. MACD is not that strong. There's a chance of curving down. This has more to the upside. 1 hourly chart, RSI, any divergences. This is how you should look at the chart. Look for divergences, momentum indicators. Look at this candle. Push up, failed. This was several hours ago. I wish I caught this, or even this. It was too early. This was like 4 in the morning for me. CG oscillator, we're down. We might range over here. We might hold this possible 1 hourly, showing a possible crossover on the way. 15 minute, we could look over here and analyze this. What pushed us up? Look at that. Can we see any div? Higher lows, low, low. We didn't have any bullish divergence on 15 minutes. MACD had a sharp crossover over here. You can see we had a spike down, liquidation, sharp curve, and we moved up. So we couldn't have predicted this, but if you had maybe if you had open interest or liquidation charts, you could have seen it. Now let me put this back. I want to take at one more coin, a look at one more coin that caught my eye yesterday, and I posted it in my group in the Discord. Said this is a possible trade setup, because a few days ago I had posted in the group and I said ARPA is way overextended, might come down, recover this, and that's what happened. This was on the 25th when I posted this, and this would have been mad gains. I entered the trade but got stopped out twice, I believe, and we continued lower. We went up, we came lower, but we only spiked higher to come lower. So on the 4 hourly, it would look something like that. On the 1 hourly, you would see that 4 hourly, you could clearly see a bearish engulfing candle, and that would be it. That would be your trade. That could be your trade for the week. A coin that I want to look at is LINA coin, because I posted yesterday and said this looks like it's following ARPA's footsteps. I might be wrong. This might continue higher. There is a possibility. You saw that in ARPA. But we need to be aware. MACD looks very overextended, very strong, very overextended. What happens? There is a chance to even get this high. There's no limitations. It doesn't have to do anything. RSI at the overbought region. CG oscillator, we're slightly getting curved down. This is on the 4 hourly. So we're getting slightly a curve. We might be coming down. It is possible. On the daily chart, you still have momentum, enough momentum to go up. Maybe you're not yet overbought. You have this strong momentum to the upside. You could buy it on a retrace. We are above the value area high. Usually at the value area high is where I'll be looking for my sell. I'll be looking to sell. At the moment, what I did is I got in here around this candle. And because it wasn't at the value area high, but I need to emphasize patience is key. Had I waited for the value area high and just said, okay, we bounced off the value area low and POC, I'll wait for the value area high, I assumed that we already came up, we got rejected, we're going to come down to the POC. That's why I entered the trade. But yeah, it's not playing out that way, and lesson is learned. Now, and we are at the 50 EMA on the weekly, and on the daily I'll show you. On the hourly, RSI is crossing bearishly below the moving average. MACD is showing weakness. We are having a shift of momentum to the downside. It can pull us down. On the 15-minute, RSI MACD has already crossed. This may be start of a retrace. If we can range down here for a while. Now, going on EMAs only, I want to look at EMA candle. Where is that? First, I'll look at this trend exhaustion. Downtrend is not yet exhausted even on the 15-minute. On the 1 hourly, let's see if we have any exhaustion. Do we have? Yeah, showing the downward momentum is a bit exhausted on the hourly. So it's telling you there is more bullish pressure. On the 4 hourly, no bearish, no bullish exhaustion. On the daily, when you see the color becomes flashy, when it turns from purple to flashy purple or from green to flashy green, you know that it's getting exhausted. So the downtrend on the daily was getting exhausted somewhere here on the 20th of May, right on this candle. We went down slightly, then we went up. Now that's on the daily. On the 4 hourly, let's look at the weekly. Is the weekly any different? Weekly looks like bullish trend. Is it exhausted? I can't see that. Yeah, flashy green. It is getting exhausted. So let's go back to the 15-minute short time frame and look at this. We still have the potential of coming down. Now, if we start coming down, we can assume that we're gonna come to the moving average to retrace, get a bounce, and continue higher. Now let's go back here. EMA. We have our 50 EMA coming at the value area high, so that's like double support. You could get a bounce over here, 1303. Now if you go back in history and look, when we moved up, 50 EMA was coming, we barely touched it. We exceeded the value area high only to come lower. There is a possibility to come and recover this wick at 0.1485. It's not very far-fetched. EMA 5 and 13 are refusing to cross down, so that might be bullish, but let's see what happens in the next candles. EMA candle close strategy. We had a long signal over here. Look at that. Had you just traded this blindly, you get a long on this red bar, stopping candle, some sort of a stopping candle, and you continue higher. These strategies work, but not 100% of the time. But if you want to use a strategy, you could go for these. 4 hourly, you had a long signal over here. So you could be shaken out a bit and it comes lower, and you get scared. This is a matter of days. You got this on the 23rd of May, 24th of May, you still came, 26th of May, you came lower only to shoot higher. So you have to have some tolerance. Don't go very high leverage or very large position, more than you can chew. Trade carefully. Now, if I want to enter my short, I mean, I am in a short, but unfortunately I'm in the red. I'm considering to move out, or hope that it crosses down, but hope doesn't do anything. If we come back to the value area high and start breaking down, then I'll know that probably I have a chance. This move is way overextended. On the higher time frame, if we come down to the 50 EMA, that would be a good trade for me. I can get out if I want to, but we're just having that bull cross. What do they call it? Death cross. What is this called? I forgot. Death cross. What is the opposite of death cross? A bullish crossover between the 50 and the 200. We have big green candles. Now we're having a blue candle at the high. This is a lot of times telling you that volume is stopping, but it can mean volume is starting. So you need to watch for that. That could play out here at the top, and then we start coming down like a hut. So you could see that a lot of times when you have this. Look at that. Blue candle at the highs, red vector candle, and we continue lower. So just be careful. Blue candle at the highs, violet candle, continue lower. Blue candle at the highs, continue lower. So just be careful. It could mean momentum is slowing down, or it could mean momentum is starting. It's hard to tell. Nothing is 100% in these markets. ARPA, I was telling the people that if you're going to be trading ARPA, it's a good place to enter. Unfortunately, it wasn't really a good place, but I also highlighted it's a good place to enter, but I also said a double top formation would be a better entry. So had you waited for this double top to play out, of course it would spike up, you would get stopped out because you would have a stop loss, and you would re-enter, ride this down. On the 15-minute, how could have you entered this? I'll show you something. You had a big overextension, and it looks like it's going to go to the moon. While the markets were not pumping, Bitcoin was pulling down, I believe, and you had this candle, indecision candle at the high after a big candle, and you couldn't follow through. Then you get a next candle, and you could even enter here after the 5 and 13 cross down. If you wanted, you could enter in assuming that this is gonna break the 50 EMA, and look at that. I wasn't watching it. I know I'm talking now about it because I entered it twice and I got stopped out, but the reason why I'm not in it is because I wasn't watching it. So I showed you what I see in Bitcoin. Hope you liked it. If you did, hit the likes. Yeah, the bearish scenario is still on the table, and we may continue lower. The 31K could be our high, which is somewhere around here. But everything can turn around in a minute. I mean, anything can happen in crypto. But 31K, this one, could have been our high, our temporary high for now. We could dump all the way down to 15K and then rally to 32K. That's also possible. Just keep that in mind, that we have a CME gap up and we have CME gaps down. We have a CME gap at the 29K and at the 36K region, and we have a CME gap at the 20K zone. That's our CME gap. We recovered this 20K zone CME gap. We came down and gapped and created another 20K. So that's interesting. Why would it do it twice? We have this gap at around 27 all the way. Oh no, we recovered that, sorry. We have this gap between 34 and 36, 35K. Then we have the 20K and we have the 10K gap. So just be aware of that. On the daily time frame, you're still in the 50 EMA cloud. You're trying to get above it. Look at that. That's your daily time frame. On your weekly, that's a 4 hourly, sorry. On your daily, you are rejected. 4 hourly, you're moving upwards. 1 hourly, you had a bullish cross, I believe. You're getting there. You're gonna cross the 200. You're trying to cross the 200, but you're getting rejected there. You could sell off like you did here. Above the 200, sell off, go down. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Join the free Discord, like, subscribe to the channel. And if you'd like to support the channel, link is in the channel description and in the video description. And if you want to hear this TA in a different language, I do it in Arabic, in more crypto bil Arabi. All right, guys, more trades. I'm out.